Welcome to Front Porch Fridays. My name's Jeff Goki. I hope that you are having an amazing day or night, wherever you are watching this. I don't know where you are at, but I hope you're doing good. I hope you're having an awesome day or night or morning or whatever time of day it is. Welcome to my front porch, and welcome to what we do every Friday. We come out here on my front porch, we take a verse from the Bible, we kind of dig into it, and we're just asking God, would you give us wisdom? Would you give us discernment? Would you guide us as we lean into your word, that we grow from it and understand what it is that you have for us? So the passage that we have today here is Psalms 86:11, and it says this: "Teach me your way, O Lord, that I may walk in your truth. Unite my heart to fear your name." My dad, growing up, so I went to Christian school my whole life, private school my whole life, but my dad was a sixth grade teacher, so all my whole life was going to a private school, but my sixth grade year, I went and I was a part of my dad's sixth grade class. Not a great idea. Part of the reason why is I was not a really good student. I really wasn't. I think I got straight C's that year, so not a great student. But my dad felt like, no, if we get an opportunity to let my son be the student that I could learn and we could have that moment together. But it wasn't great. My dad was like really hard on me. I was like, what's going on? But here's the really interesting thing about my dad being my teacher. I'd always assumed that my dad was being my teacher as we showed up to school and he was in front of the class. But something really important happened in my sixth grade year. In my sixth grade year, my dad decided that we were going to go through memory verses. So he made me kind of memorize memory verses every single day on the way to school and then on the way back. And to be honest, I really didn't enjoy it all that much. But now, all these years later, all those verses, hundreds of verses, they stuck with me. And so what I perceived my dad was like, it didn't work really great in the classroom. What he did for me on the way to school, as he taught me and as he encouraged and challenged me, I grew in my understanding of the Bible. I memorized those scriptures. Honestly, I think that may be the last time I memorized scripture, I'm sad to say, but those verses have stuck with me. Here's what the psalmist is saying to us. God is your teacher. God's your teacher. That's a crazy thought, right? We tend to think of him as father or he's provider, but we rarely think of him as teacher. You know, David is coming to this moment where he realizes without God teaching him his way, he's left to his own. And David's like, that's a scary thought, right? That's crazy. I don't want to be left to my own. I want God to teach me. I have found that most people think they know what they should do and how they should act. It's honestly why I still have a job as a pastor and I meet with so many different people, because people think, oh, I'm fine. It's no big deal. I have it all figured out for the most part, when in reality, we don't. You know, people, and myself included, are almost always surprised when things don't work out the way they thought they would, because we're leaning into our own wisdom, our own strength. And what David's going is like, no, I don't want that. God, be my teacher. You know, David writes this psalm. This is what I love. He writes this psalm after he has an affair with Bathsheba, and he's murdered her husband. It's almost like David is saying this, and maybe you can relate right now as I'm saying this. Wow. I can't believe that happened. I never want that to happen again. He's saying I need to ground myself in God's teaching, in God's truth, because I don't trust myself, because I was able to do something really horrible and it hurt a lot of people when I was trying to lean into my own wisdom, my own way. And so he's going, God, please be my teacher. God, please guide my way. Show me your truth for your glory. And so here's my encouragement to you right now. Just slow down and ask God to teach you. If you're a Christian, he has sent his Spirit to guide and to lead you, but you have to be a learner. You know, Jesus is the perfect example of someone listening and obeying all that God had for him, even unto death. And he's inviting us into that way of learning and growing, because our lives are a reflection of what we are being taught and what we believe. And the question is this: how are you allowing God to teach you his truth? How are you allowing God to teach you his truth? This is something I've been really wrestling with. We're getting so many messages from around the world and in our culture and on TV screens and on social media. We have to slow down and remember that God is our teacher. But will we allow ourselves to really learn from him? Thanks so much. I hope this has been challenging and encouraging. Look forward to seeing you next Friday out here on the porch. Cheers.